All right guys, big day today. I just got back from vacation and I'm feeling motivated to get back on the freeloader challenge grind. So today I'm gonna take my haul from previous dumpster dives and then go back to my favorite dive spots again and see what I can get. Then I'm gonna bring it all in one shot to the scrapyard and see how much money I can wrangle. But first things first, we must discuss equipment that every dumpster diver needs. Very first thing, waterproof shoes with high tops and high socks. We're going to be jumping into dumpsters, especially construction dumpsters. They've got a lot of nails, sharp edges. Don't cut yourself and protect your feet. Next thing, I've gone diving before without gloves, and I ended up trying to pull on some of this aluminum armored copper wire. Got blisters all up and down my hands. So everybody on the last video who was saying I needed gloves, they were absolutely right. Bring gloves with you. Next piece of equipment is these metal sheet cutters. All right, any kind of clippers will do, but a lot of times we're gonna end up finding copper wire that we just can't remove from an appliance correctly, so just cut it off. It's going to a landfill anyway. That way we can get our copper. And the last piece, if you can get your hands on them, is any kind of magnet. So these are these neodymium magnets, something like that. They work great. All you have to do with these magnets is find out if something is steel or aluminum, because aluminum will not attract magnets. Magnets won't stick to aluminum, but they will to steel. So we're gonna, if we see something we don't know if it's steel or aluminum, put the magnet to it. This one is steel, it's not worth much. This is aluminum, it's worth quite a bit. What I have from previous hauls includes these, I'm not really sure what they are. It says control filter. They're pretty heavy, probably 10 pounds each, maybe a little more than that. I've pictured this thing being filled with copper, and some of it is, but it's also got this tar, it's called potting, to make sure that nobody can reverse engineer what's inside here or steal from it. So I'm not sure what they're gonna give me. Probably just steel price, which is only 6 cents a pound. All right, next thing, I'm not sure what electronics are gonna go for, but I found this monitor. I figured it's worth giving it a shot. Some of the real wins include this communication wire. So this is Cat5 wire. Anything like that is gonna be filled with copper, a really good find if you can get your hands on it. And then these electric wires for things like lights, Christmas lights especially. Everybody throws these out around Christmas, and even throughout the year you see them getting tossed out. This is really valuable stuff, and it's even rated separately. You get a good price per pound. The aluminum armored copper wire, if you can find a whole bunch of this filled with copper like that, the copper that's inside these goes for a really good price. And if you were to separate the aluminum and the copper, you'd get a lot more, but that's a lot of effort. I just bring it straight like this. They rate it as aluminum armored copper wire. You get a mixture of both copper and aluminum for the price. And then I'm not sure if most of these are, some of these are steel, some of these are brass, some of it is copper. I'm not sure what this is going to be rated as, but these are all obviously doorknobs and locks that we took out of my house. If I put the magnet to it, you can see that it'll stick to some of these, but a lot of it won't stick to. I'm not sure what these pieces actually are here. Maybe some of it's aluminum, but I'll let the scrapyard decide what it is. Another alternative, because I just found it now, to the magnets is something like this. A lot of the scrapyards will actually give them to you. This one's from Potomac Metals, and then it's just to help you dumpster dive. So this will give you the same result, probably better results from the neodymium magnet. All right, let's head out to my favorite dive spots, see if we can increase this stash before we bring ourselves over to the scrapyard. All right, I'm pulling up now to my favorite dive spot. At least historically, it was my favorite dive spot. It looks like the construction that was going on in this building is concluded. So there isn't quite as much stuff as there used to be, but I'm really hopeful that I can get something good out of here. You guys might recognize this spot from where I came with Rudy, and we got a lot of the wooden pallets. Obviously, I'm hoping for a lot better than wood today. Let's see if there's any more metal left over as they wrapped up their construction. All right, here we are. Doesn't look too promising, I'm gonna admit. I'll be surprised if there's anything useful in here, but gloves, snippers, magnet in hand. Let's see. Oh, let's see what we got. All right. Okay, so there's a lot of sheet metal, but that's steel. All right, if this were aluminum, this would be something exciting, but this, very clearly steel, only worth 6 cents a pound. So unless you've got a whole trailer, this isn't gonna be any use. Let's check around the other side. Sometimes a different view helps. Let's see what we got here. So these are lockers, also obviously steel. Underneath this, I don't know, let's see. It doesn't look like anything too exciting. Maybe this is some kind of printer here? Some pretty weak electronics, nothing useful in there. What else? In this bag, it looks like there's some iron. Nothing that's gonna fetch a worthwhile price, all still steel. When you get caught dumpster diving, you just wave, big deal. Tire, not useful to anybody. This one is junk, guys. And I've also seen these things here before, so this hasn't been picked up in a while. Anything that was good here has been picked over, so this one is a straight up L. Right now I'm behind my favorite mechanic and gas station. So the reason they're my favorite gas station is because they use the Upside app. I've saved thousands of dollars on gasoline over the last couple of years by using that, and it brought me here, and that's why I'm now using them as my mechanic. So everybody wins in that case. Anyway, I asked them, can I take some of the old scrap metal that you guys have? Because it's all worth money, and if you're dumping it out anyway, I'd love to get my hands on it. They said, well, there is some stuff that they're getting rid of, but you can see these catalytic converters and stuff behind me. That's not scrap. They're either going to use it or they're going to sell it. Same thing with things like this engine here, this core. That's going into other vehicles. I can't just take that. But they did say I'm more than welcome to get my hands on some tires, which I may use on the homestead. I'm interested in turning these into planters. So when I get my bigger car, I might come back for some of these. And then they've got this bucket here, which is all scrap metal for sure. Now, regrettably, this isn't the highest quality stuff. We got a lot of oil here. Obviously, this is steel. Actually, that's not steel. I don't know what it is. I thought for sure that would be steel. It's pretty oily though. This should be sticking to iron, so I don't know what it is. And then these definitely look like steel. So these aren't really worth a whole lot, but if they're heavy enough, it could still be worth something. So this could be useful. Something I just noticed is these. Now I've seen these sold before. These are worth something. Now they're not steel. These look like aluminum. I'm gonna ask about this before I just yank them, but I'm probably gonna pull some of this out of here. It's heavy enough, it's worth a little bit of money. The stuff that's covered in oil, I don't know, maybe I could still make a planter out of it or something. But this is surprisingly not steel. Now I'm glad I asked about those sheets of aluminum before I just stole them, because it turns out they do actually sell those, and if I took them, I'd be stealing. And for the amount of money that this is worth, it's not worth committing crime over. However, they did let me take all these things out of the bucket. Now this is just raw scrap metal. It's, I don't know, maybe 8 pounds at 6 cents. It's not a whole lot. This is probably only $1 or $2 here. But it is something. Now I'm already right next to another gas station that I've been to before as well. I'm just gonna see what they have to say. Maybe they've got some metal laying around too that I can get my hands on. So I was right next to another gas station. I figured I might as well go see what they have to say. They told me that I can have $5 free worth of gasoline if I give them a good review on Google Maps. And I've used this place before as well. They did a good enough job. I'm more than happy to give them a positive review in exchange for $5 of free gasoline. So just a little extra on top of what I'm already doing today. So I ended up talking to Wayne at the gas station. He said that he has no problem with me taking this scrap metal at all. Some of this, very similar to the other one, it's just cheap type stuff. These are shoes for brake pads. I could take these and they're made out of steel, so they're not gonna be worth a whole lot, but I'm already here, so why not? I was really hoping for a little bit better, but this will do. All right, moving on to the next dumpster. This is a building that's been under construction for the better part of a year, maybe even more than a year. This dumpster has been filled with metal sometimes before, but it's a lot of landscaping stuff too. I'm not sure what's gonna be in there today. Looks like they're just putting on the finishing touches on this building. So I'm not sure what we're gonna get, but let's find out. All right, some sod. I do see down there what looks like some copper wire. So I'm gonna try to snip that if I can't pull the whole thing out. And then down here, it gets a little rough, but I think there's still gonna be some good stuff there. I see what looks like a little bit more copper. Oh, there we go. Ooh, look at that. Okay, I think this might be a big haul. If this is copper, we are in business. Man, look at that, that's a lot. All right, I hit the jackpot on this one. Look at this. That's the stick. Look at this. There it is. You can see this is like coax or something. All right, it's not thick copper, but it's something. And right there, look, that's Cat 5. This is really, really good wire. So this is gonna be a good haul right here. Obviously, I'm not gonna be able to yank the whole thing out, but this is why we bring our snippers. All right, let's pull this out. Oh man, this is good. This is gonna be worth something. Oh yes. Jeez. All right, I'm gonna have to put the phone down, pull out everything I can, and I'll check back in and show you what I got. This is gonna be great. Whew, got a good haul out of here, but it's getting much more difficult to reach new areas. I mean, this is a heavily packed dumpster. I'm sure, absolutely sure that there's still a lot of good stuff underneath here, but I can't get to it all, and it's painful for me. But look how much broken glass is in here. This is why I say wear gloves and good shoes. But it's getting more and more dangerous the further I dig down. So I'm gonna take one last look through here. What do we got? Anything? No. A lot of piss bottles, a lot of yucky cups and food and stuff. Everything just gets thrown into here. And I'm sure that there is some great stuff underneath this mountain of sod that just got thrown out. But I can't get underneath it without a significant amount of work. And I don't know if I have the time and willpower to go moving probably 1,000 pounds of dirt to see if there's $1.50 worth of copper underneath it. So I'm gonna call this a huge W, but I gotta move on to the next dumpster. All right, let's take a look at what I got, what I actually collected. Okay. So here's a nice big coax cable. A lot of coax, a lot of Cat5. A couple of bottles of water that I'm actually gonna drink, not gonna lie. This is gonna be a good value here. The coax isn't quite as valuable as like proper copper wire. It doesn't have that much copper in it, but it's still enough that it'll fetch a price. This Cat5 is good stuff. I can add this to my stash. There's actually more copper in this than there is in the coax, but it's all pretty good. This light right here, I don't know, I feel like that might be worth something, or at least the cable on it. I might snip the cable off. And then this is actually useful. This is a big towing cable of some sort. This is actually just useful to have around the homestead. So I'm gonna bring the car around and load this bad boy up. Apparently the street is a dead end, but look at what's at the end of the rainbow. This could be treasure right here. Well, so much for treasure. This is about as garbage gets. This is like that nasty construction garbage. This place is not what I need at all. I mean, actually, you know, maybe that little thing right there, no, that's a sink. That's the whole sink. Never mind, I can't get to that. I don't know, is this anything useful? Can't get it, forget it. This one's an L. Batteries, straight up garbage. What else we got? Razor blades, car stuff. Nothing in there looks like any kind of metal. No copper, nothing. Some spray. No, this is... Man. I was really hoping there would be something here. I'll get one more angle and see. No, just straight trash garbage. Copper, right there. Copper. Found a little piece of copper. There it is. Great. It's attached to a light. It's attached to a light. Lovely. So, I mean, I can clip all this off, but it's honestly not even worth it. That's only worth like 15 cents, maybe, at the max. Nothing here. I'm definitely not digging through this to try to find something. That's a shame. All right, guys, completely abandoned warehouse. Can I find something good in the associated dumpster? Could be good stuff, could be nothing, could be a corpse or a crackhead. Let's see. What the hell is that? Paint chips? Yeah, so nothing. Dang. Ugh. I really wanted there to be something interesting here. Some steel. Here's a key. You know, if I had time to go on a side quest, I think that's a start of a quest. Let's see. This looks like it might be some copper wire. Yep, look at that. Copper wire. It's an extension cord. It's worth money. There's a lot of bolts around here. Another hazard of being in a place like this is all the stuff that can get stuck in your tires. And look at that, there's just stuff everywhere. You get a whole bunch of this stuck in your tires going, oh, here, look, here's some more copper. Not gonna be worth much, but it's here. If this is copper, we're in business. It's not, it's just a hose. It wouldn't make sense for that to be copper. What else? See if we got any more of this type of thing. Got a little bit of copper, a little bit of No dead bodies, that's good. But I think that's it. I think that's all we're gonna get from around here. This. Too light to be worth anything. Here's the other glove from over there. Found it. No. It's a stick. No, I think this is gonna be it. Get an extension cord and a little piece of copper. One more spot. Looks like there could be something over here. No. It's just a waste of time at this point. I think I'm more likely to get stabbed than anything else. I'm gonna get out of here before either my car gets jacked or I get extorted for everything I've collected so far. Well, I'm driving through this industrial park. I'm starting to realize that one of the tickets to dumpster diving isn't just to drive around and start looking for random stuff. You know, I went to a dumpster that I've been to before on 2 occasions and ended up finding some good stuff. Now, driving around aimlessly, I haven't been able to really pick up anything. So the real ticket is find a place that's actively doing disposal or construction, renovation. That's where you're gonna find the stuff that you're looking for. Going around to random businesses' dumpsters, you might find a little bit of stuff that's been under repair. Nothing that's gonna make a huge difference. So I feel like all I've really done so far, at least in the last couple of dumpsters, is wasted time. I gotta get back on track by going to the places that I know have had stuff in the past and see what they're working on now. We're gonna go straight from here to the hospital that's been under construction before. I think they might be done, but we're gonna find out. And to another building in a strip mall that's been under renovation. So if I can find something good in these last couple of dumpsters before I go to the scrapyard, I'll be real happy. Right now, I still got quite a bit. I didn't come up empty today, but pretty much all of it came from just one dumpster. Gotta get back on track here. And I'm pulling up past the hospital where they were doing construction, and there's not even a dumpster here anymore. So this is just another L on my pile of L's today. And that's gonna be a wrap. Straight to the recycling center. Rolling up now to the recycling center. Let's see, we're going on the drive-through entrance. Now look at all that metal. They collect so much stuff throughout the day. What I have here is gonna be like peanuts compared to all the people coming through. Usually this mountain of stuff over here.
Like phone or command like points of interest, followed by canceling voice recognition.
Thank you, car. The amount of stuff that they get here throughout the day, what I have is gonna look like peanuts. Usually this mountain of scrap metal is a lot larger. But I'm here for the money. I'm gonna add to all the junk that they're getting today. All right, my man over there is bringing a cart. We're gonna separate, got a whole bunch of materials. So this says this is aluminum, so that's gonna fetch a good price. Got some fun stuff over here. I kind of like this scrapyard, you know, it's environmentally sound because people are bringing in all kinds of stuff. Look what we got over here. Big giant lights, metal clippings of some sort, appliances, car parts, I guess. Wow, look at that, there's all kinds of motors. Or these are alternators, what they are. Separating all the material over here, we got our Christmas lights, some copper. This is some good stuff. Electronics, yeah. The electronics, aluminum copper wire, yeah. Here's the fun part where we find out what it's all worth. Unfortunately, the coax is worth next to nothing. So they already have too much of it, it's not worth anything. But, oh, thank you. But we're starting to weigh up a whole bunch of other parts here. What's this, the copper? All right, I'm pretty happy with this. This is $65 of stuff. The best thing was all the copper wire, the aluminum copper wire. I'm very disappointed to see the communication wire, that coax ended up only being counted as steel because they don't need any more coax. So all that great stuff ended up being pretty much nothing. Really, the key prize right there is down here, that aluminum copper wire. Still at 65 bucks. And here it goes. My money pops right out. 65 bucks. Hey, you know what? It's a win.